Today, we'll be participating in the first round of the Aus-NZ Combined Racing League Ferrari F355 Challenge. This is Triple Crown Racing, let's get into it. So welcome to the Aus-NZ Combined Ferrari F355 Challenge. Now, this is a new league that I've started doing, so the Aus-NZ have been running for a few years, and they mainly play on Project Cars 2 and cater mainly for Xbox, although I do believe they do PC as well, and this is, I believe, practice for my first ever race in Aus-NZ Combined. Now, this is mainly made up of drivers that you may recognise from the Australian P-Cars 2 Supercars Championship, but this is more of an organised group on Facebook, which I'll leave a link to their page in the description below, so you can come and partake in some of their events if you want. It's a fantastic group on Facebook, and they have some of the finest clean and competitive racing that you will find anywhere on Xbox. So, more about this series. This is the Ferrari F355 Challenge. This is based off a series that used to support Formula 1 back in the day, before I was actually born. So this is supposed to be 2001. We'll be going to various circuits such as Catalonia. We actually go there twice, one for the short circuit, one for the long circuit. We go to places like Mugello. We will be going to the Azure Coast, which is in real life is known as the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. But this first race is Monza, and this will be one of two races for this particular night, but the second race will be in the second video. So they have two races a night, and this is the first one of them. So we are starting with Monza, Italy. Where else could you start for Ferrari League? So this is practice right now. Practice is very wet, very difficult conditions. I've even got the window wipers on, and I'm just finishing this first lap at Monza. I do believe I get a pretty decent result in. Or maybe I didn't actually. We'll come across the line now, and we'll see just where we managed to finish. So this lap was a 2:06.4. Now, at the end of practice, I did not have the greatest result. I was actually outside of the top 10, but then again, it is just practice. Unfortunately, my results weren't that much better in qualifying. Luckily, qualifying was in the dry. And now you can see on this lap I am doing a lot better than some of my previous laps, despite the fact I got very sideways going into the Ascari chicane. But you'll see in a second what happens when we're coming up to the Parabolica. So into the corner now, braking down from our top speed, and we completely lose the rear end. I think I can catch it for a second, but no. And unfortunately I wasn't able to set a better time in qualifying, so we are starting 9th for the first round of the Aus-NZ Combined Ferrari F355 Challenge. Now, I should explain, the original plan was to have two lobbies, but we were just seeing in practice and qualifying if we could run everyone in the one lobby, and if we couldn't, we'd just combine everyone's race time. But because it's Australian internet, we couldn't really expect much, so we were running two lobbies. That's why you will see a lot of people dropping out during this race. So here it is, the moment you have all been waiting for. We are gearing up for the start of the Ferrari F355 Challenge. We are just about to go green, and we go green at Monza for the first race in the Ferrari F355 Challenge. Now, we've gotten a fairly decent start. There's a lot of spray, so we'll be taking it very cautious into turn one. As you can see on the left-hand side, many people are dropping out of the lobby. I think we'll have about 8 after everybody leaves. Now, into turn 1 now, I seem to have made up a place. Everyone's very cautious through this first turn. That's Triple Rotor Racing just ahead of us. Chuck Racing leading the motor race after the first corner. Very slow on exit for Triple Rotor Racing. We'll see if we can make a pass. But it looks like everyone's gotten through relatively cleanly, although we are still very close together, so there is an opportunity for disaster. I believe that's Whopper on the inside. He's trying to make a move going into the chicane. We are side by side now. I'm seeing if I can get up the inside of Triple Rotor, but I'm not able to. Whoppers are around the outside, and there are cars off to the side there. I hit the back of Whopper because he gets a slow exit. Still relatively clean, though, despite a few people going somewhat wayward. Into the Lesmos now, and there's a bit of chaos. There's cars going around. That's Dark Racing. We've managed to get through it. Triple Rotor's pulled off to the side, and we have made it up into 5th place. Now we'll be chasing down Shads, who was the runner-up in the Aus-NZ, Australian P-Cars 2 Supercars Championship. We're in 5th place right now, but so far, so good for us. We'll be making up places on this first lap. Now, that's no bad thing at all. It will be difficult to catch these front runners, though we do get a bit of an advantage going into Ascari. Shads, we are chasing. Oh, and somebody spun around. I couldn't quite tell who that is. I think that was uncrewed there, and I have realised I have been saying unscrewed instead of uncrewed for a long time. But anyway, and as you can see there, Woody Lizard trying to invite me to the other lobby. Now, we're under attack from Triple Rotor Racing. We'll see if he'll make a pass into the parabolic. He's decided against it, though. I think it's a bit too early on in the race to be making ambitious moves, but we run a bit wide, and Triple Rotor Racing seems to be taking advantage of that little mistake. We are side by side going down the straight. I'm still in 4th. It's still registering me in 4th, but there is a possibility that Triple Rotor Racing will be getting past me, but it looks like I will be ahead for the time being. Now, fast forward to lap 2. Going into the Lesmos for the second time, but we lose the rear end, and then we overcorrect and go off into the gravel traps. Now that's Triple Rotor Racing going past us. Now, unfortunately, as soon as you make one mistake, you will start making other mistakes. I did just manage to avoid spinning there. We've only lost 1 position from that, so not too costly. But then again, we are making a few more mistakes. Just like I said, we could have taken ourselves out of the race in that little one there. We got a bit of front damage by hitting a puddle and then hitting the wall. Now into the chicane. Now, I think it was at this point my dog actually made a very strange noise and I freaked out a bit. That Shad's pulled off to the side as well. I thought I could take advantage of it, but I go around as well. Shad's has gotten going again, and we are down in 6th place. So, not a particularly good lap for us. We've got a lot of time to make up. Now fast forward to lap 3. Now, who is that there? That is Uncrewed Squid, so he didn't spin around before, I think. We've gotten past Uncrewed Squid now, so we've gotten by the Australian P-Cars 2 Supercars Championship champion. So, obviously, the same skills won't always be applied in different cars. Now, fast forward to lap 11. Nothing really interesting happened for the rest of the race. We managed to get up into 5th place, but for the first time in what seems like ages, we've actually crossed the line and finished a race. So that's a good haul of points for us. I can't really complain about that, but after all the bad luck we got in the Australian P-Cars 2 Supercars Championship, it is nice just to finish a race. Now, this wasn't the most exciting race. This was in the rain, so it really was just down to people making mistakes. But regardless, we have finished. We have finished our first Aus-NZ Combined race. And there we are. These are the full results. Chuck Racing wins the race, followed by Taipan Samurai and Triple Rotor Racing rounding off the podium, followed by Shads, myself, Uncrewed Squid, Dark Racing, and Whopper rounding off the field. So here are the overall race times from the 2 lobbies. Chuck Racing took the victory, followed by Dado Racer in 2nd, and Taipan Samurai in 3rd. Triple Rotor Racing came 4th, Sam Pappy in 5th, Shads in 6th, AJD in 7th, Woody Lizard in 8th, and me in 9th place. Still an okay haul of points though. Uncrewed Squid finished 10th, Dark Racing finished 11th, Simo Racing finished 12th, and Whopper retired. and he rounded off the field. Unfortunately, I can't show you the championship results because they were only recorded when 2 races that night had been run. I think that makes sense. So yes, that rounds off round 1 of the Aus-NZ Ferrari F355 Challenge. I know it's a bit late because the race was a couple of weeks ago, but I eventually got it out. Round 2 should be coming out soon, and I'll leave the links in the description for a couple of other people's perspective of this race and others. Anyway, till next time, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.